Hey, what's up guys, TechTime here, and this is the camera review of the Samsung Galaxy A23 5G. So listen, we have a lot to talk about, so quickly I want to thank you all so much for watching my content. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a thumbs up and make sure you're also subscribed to the channel if you haven't already. I really do sincerely appreciate anybody that's supporting the channel. Alright, so this camera review is going to be broken down into a couple of categories. We're going to be talking about the camera design, the specs, the interface, picture quality, as well as video quality, and I'm going to round it up in a conclusion at the end. So let's start with the camera design. So this camera module is kind of reminiscent of how they did it in the Samsung Galaxy A53. I'll leave a couple of links for that in the description below. But it's clean, really well integrated within the design itself. However, if I were to nitpick, so I do want to say that it slightly protrudes. So when you're setting the phone on a flat surface, it is gonna rock back and forth, but it's so slight that I don't think it's gonna be a big deal for a lot of people. Now let's move on to the camera specs. So as far as the specs go, you have a quad camera setup, and you have a 50 megapixel main sensor with optical image stabilization. You have a 5 megapixel ultra wide, as well as a 2 megapixel macro sensor and a 2 megapixel depth sensor. As far as the camera interface go, it's really what you would expect from Samsung. Fluid, fast, and easy to use. And you do have a lot of different options within the settings, so you can change it up to Pro mode, turn on your HDR, change your video quality, and just a lot of things that you can control. And it takes pictures very quickly, very fluidly, and you can also interchange between the standard lens and the wide angle lens quickly, smoothly, with a little to no lag at all. So that's definitely a thumbs up from me. Now let's flip the page and talk about image quality. So we're gonna start with the color and detail. So the images that came out of this camera in good lighting conditions are colorful, vibrant, and for the most part well exposed, as you will see in a little bit. However, the wide angle lens does take a hit in quality due to resolution, but decent overall. Not really many things to complain about in that department. Back to the colors quickly. They are impressive, especially for a phone that is in the $300 price range. As far as the bokeh effect and focus, they are respectable. So in this image specifically, the background is blurred pretty nicely. But if I were to nitpick, I do want to say that in some parts of the image, it does tend to overexpose. So keep that in mind. So as far as detail goes, it's good. It definitely can handle itself. Then again, so same problem as previous image. There are some areas where parts of the picture are somewhat overexposed, so keep that in mind. Now, as for the dynamic range, it is pretty good for the most part. It does a good job in trying to balance the image where the colors and the shadows are balanced throughout the image. Then again, sometimes it can be inconsistent in the next two pictures. So in this photo, you can see that it's kind of dark, and in the next one, it's kind of better. So you do have to take a picture once or twice to figure out the right balance for it. So keep that in mind. Now, moving on to indoor photography, I can tell you this. This is a weak area when it comes to this phone's camera system. The colors are not as good as you would expect from outdoor conditions, especially in good lighting. So they are washed, and listen, there's a fair amount of noise level, and just for fun, I decided to compare it with the iPhone 12. Listen though, this is only to give you an idea of what I mean. This is not a full comparison. I'm not trying to compare a flagship to a budget phone. Keep that in mind. Okay, so this is really where you'll get a better idea of how it handles itself in indoor conditions, right? It's not as good as outdoor conditions overall, but it definitely gets a pass for a $300 phone. So as far as nighttime photography, it also takes a hit. It's not that good, but that is to be expected, and the pictures overall can be used somewhat. And the selfie camera itself is a good one. I was kind of surprised. So it has a fair amount of detail, and the colors are somewhat accurate, so it definitely gets a pass. Now I just want to show you guys a sample video so we can test out the video quality, and I'll get back to you guys with some final words on the video and overall on the camera itself. Hey, what's up guys, Tech9 here, and this is the video test of the Samsung Galaxy A23 5G. So we're currently recording on the mic of it as well, so there is also a bit of wind, keep that in mind. But yeah, so it does have optical image stabilization. However, you cannot switch between the standard lens and the wide angle lens like I've seen in past Samsung phones. As far as, let's see if we can get this to focus. Stop moving. Okay, so it's not focusing as well. Alright, if it's a simple subject, it will do it, it will focus quickly, but if the subject has a lot of things going on, it'll be more difficult to focus. And here it is. If we look at the dynamic range of the video, it's actually kind of decent. Not bad. As far as colors go, they seem to be slightly washed, but not too crazy, so definitely gets a pass from me. It's just missing a little bit more detail though in my opinion, but that's just me looking at it from the viewfinder. And yeah, you can also snap a picture while you're taking a video, so that's kind of a neat feature. And yeah, this is your video test of the Galaxy A23. Let me know what you guys think. So the video quality is fair, okay? I don't want to boost it up way too much. The colors aren't as good as I hoped, but the stabilization and the autofocus both are good. So definitely gets a pass from me. You can use it for YouTube videos. Just make sure that you have the right amount of lighting, and you can color grade your videos right after in whatever editing software that you use. With that, you can definitely get a usable video in it. Okay, now let's round everything up in a conclusion. At the end of the day, listen, this is a $300 device. There are going to be limitations, right? So for example, it doesn't provide as much colors indoors, and while outdoor pictures are good, it tends to overexpose here and there, so exposure can be an issue from time to time. Video quality is not going to be the greatest thing in the world. You just have to keep in mind that this is a $300 device, and for that, it definitely gets a thumbs up. So listen, they brought optical image stabilization to it, so that definitely gets a thumbs up from me. The sensor is a 50 megapixel resolution, so it definitely can capture detail better than other smartphones within the price range, and overall definitely gets a solid pass from me. So with that being said, where do you think this smartphone lands within the phones of $300 range? Do you see better phones that take better pictures within that price range? Let me know. I'm really curious to see what you guys think of it. Leave it in the comments below. With that being said, listen, thank you all so much for watching this video. I really, truly, greatly appreciate anybody that is supporting the channel in any way possible by leaving a like, subscribing, watching videos. Alright, so I'm definitely going to catch you guys in the next video. The next one will be really fun, so stay tuned for that. And with that being said, thank you all so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Thank you for watching. Bam. This was a good camera.